April inventory and active listings increased by over 30% in the entire U.S. compared to 2023 versus 2024, which means there's a lot more homes on the market. And I'm going to explain exactly what that means next to people thinking about making a real estate decision. If you like what you hear, you get some value out of this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team to talk about your real estate needs and how more inventory is going to impact that, you can use the link in the comments. Big inventory increase from April 2023 to April 2024 nationally, over 30%. The numbers from Realtor.com in April of 2023, there were 562,966 new and active inventory listings on the market. This year, 734,318. Nick's going to put up all the numbers here, and we're going to go over what this means locally in the greater Philadelphia area in a second. The good news here is that we are getting close to pre-pandemic numbers. This is the highest number of listings we've seen in April since 2020, and obviously that was a very tough time then. Can't believe it's already been 4 years. That's a whole nother story. So we're seeing inventory grow, which is great for sellers who want to buy and buyers because there's more options out there. You might be able to make an offer on a property if it's been sitting on the market a little bit. There's going to be some good things happening here. I'm very pro-inventory. It's good for the entire market. Now, if you look at this chart here that we're going to put up next, this comes from the Resi Club at Housing Wire, and this chart is pretty interesting because it shows that we are way ahead of where we were with the exception of 2020 up until when the pandemic happened. So you can see what the growth looks like in 2023, and more housing options are going to be good for buyers and for sellers. Then if you look at where we are in the state of Pennsylvania, you can see a lot of this inventory growth is in the southern states, Florida, Texas, Arizona, the Carolinas, Georgia. We're seeing a lot of inventory growth there. Florida's got 64% year over year, bananas numbers. In Pennsylvania, we're seeing 7%, and it's really 6.7 when you go to the zoomed-in version that I sent you, Nick, if you can put that up. So we've seen a 6.7% jump in active housing inventory year over year. So what does this mean? It tells me a couple things. One, there's more options out there than there were, and that is great news for anyone that maybe felt shut out of the market. They weren't liking what they were seeing. They felt locked into their current home because the biggest challenge wasn't rates are going up. It's I'm not seeing homes that I like, and my motivation and needs are still the same, meaning once you decide you need a new home because it's too small for you, it's not getting any bigger. Once you decide the home's too big, it's not getting any smaller. So the fact that we're seeing inventory start to rise, that should continue to happen in the months of May and June through the second quarter in the greater Philadelphia area. So if I'm a buyer right now, what I'm looking at is, hey, there's more options. What homes have elevated days on market? What properties are ones I've been keeping an eye on and they've been sitting out there? Maybe it's worth going and taking a look at and making an offer. And now you have the ability to go look at maybe a couple homes instead of just one. And depending on the situation, you may have a little time available to make a decision. So this is very good news in a lot of ways. On the sell side, what I see here is if inventory continues to rise, and coming off the post-Fed meeting, it's very clear Jerome Powell will not be dropping the key interest rate anytime soon. And a hike is also off the table. So we got some bonus Fed meeting intel here. It looks like rates are going to stay where they are, which they're trending around 7% right now, plus or minus, depending on credit, assets, income, a number of different things. So rates are going to be stable. So it's a known quantity. We know that we're not going to be seeing this volatility like we saw last year. So if I'm a seller, the serious buyers are out there buying. 7% is a lower rate historically, obviously much higher than where rates used to be. And if inventory grows as a seller, you don't want to be the one that's competing against a ton of homes. You want to be the only option in the neighborhood. We're still seeing homes sell with multiple offers, with waive contingencies. That stuff's going on. And there's other homes that are sitting on the market a little bit. So that's the first sign that the market's changing away from that COVID pandemic rush that we've seen. So buyers, you got more options. It's really going to come down to how serious you are about purchasing. And sellers, keep an eye on where inventory goes. Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Texas, Arizona are very different markets now. We're still seeing inventory rise, and that would cause me to reevaluate my housing plans, which is all the more reason to talk with a professional. So if you want to do that, You can schedule a call with our team with the link in the comments.